Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video. It is going to be a part 2 to a video that I posted, I don't know, like maybe 6 weeks ago, talking about products that I really never should have bought, never should have purchased, never should have bought. I don't know if boughten's a word. I don't think it is. Talking about products that should not be in my collection. And this video was inspired by Abby Williamson. Abby Williamson or Williams. I think it's Williamson. She'll be linked down below as well as her video. When I saw her video, I just thought it was such a brilliant idea. The whole idea was that these are products that like are in my collection that I just shouldn't have purchased for one reason or another, but I don't hate these products enough to declutter them. It's just like the thought process around buying them just wasn't there. Not that it ever really is, but like it really wasn't there for these products. You guys seem to like my first video that I posted, so I came up with another list of I think 11 products that I currently have in my collection, along with the other products I talked about in my round 1 video, which I'll leave linked below, that I just probably shouldn't have purchased, you know? So if you guys are interested in this video, then stay tuned. First, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do post a minimum of 4 times a week. So if that's something that interests you, then don't forget to subscribe before moving on. But other than that, let's just jump into the video. So I'm kind of crushing it today already. My bralette, didn't mean to peep you guys there, but my bralette matches my nails, which matches my sweatpants, which kind of matches my eyeshadow. I know you guys are proud. All right, you guys, we're gonna kick it off with concealer. I have 2 concealers I shouldn't have purchased. Let's start with this one right here. This is the Tarte Shape Tape. And I'm not talking about the first time I purchased Tarte Shape Tape. I'm talking about the second time I purchased Tarte Shape Tape, because my first Tarte Shape Tape I didn't like. It did me dirty when I was in Las Vegas for my best friend's bachelorette party. I put it underneath my eyes, went out, sweated, got home, and literally had 2 triangles of powder and concealer underneath my eyes, and the rest of my face was wiped off. I looked truly insane, and I don't know why my friends didn't tell me, girlfriend, just go wipe off your makeup, because right now, you do not look cute. So, to start with, I didn't even really like Tarte Shape Tape. I personally felt like it was too drying underneath my eyes. It just never looked the way that I wanted it to. It was very full coverage, and I'm not the type of person who needs a very full coverage concealer, but I felt like because the whole world felt like Tarte Shape Tape was God's blessing to the earth when it comes to concealer, that naturally, if I just purchased a better shade for myself, it was going to become my perfect concealer. And this little guy has just sat and sat and sat and sat and collected dust in my collection because I don't like this concealer. I'm currently trying to finish up my other one and use it like to set my eyelids, like use it as an eyelid primer, but no words. And then the other concealer, thankfully, was a less expensive mistake, but it is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I do not like this concealer, and the reason I should not have purchased this concealer is because everyone said it was a Tarte Shape Tape dupe. Girlfriend, get it together. What are you thinking? You're not. Just because everyone else loves something doesn't mean you have to. You can be different, girl. You can be different, and that's okay. This is just too I don't even have words. I just don't like it that much. This is just too full coverage for me. It does remind me quite a bit of Tarte Shape Tape. I also feel like the shade that I have, which is in the shade Light Peach, is too light for me, even like when I'm fair. It's too full coverage. It looks cakey underneath my eyes, personally. I don't like it, so probably shouldn't have bought it. Next up, I have a highlight, 2 highlighters to talk about, and they are 2 Fenty Beauty Killawatt highlighters. And you're probably thinking to yourself, Steph, you freaking liar. I thought that the Fenty Beauty highlighters were your favorite. They are. These 2 are the I'm laughing because it's so stupid that I purchased these. These were the like limited edition summer ones. I think last year, maybe 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago that these came out? So I bought 2 of the 3. This one is in the shade Mint Mojito and Sandcastle, and I thought to myself that I could use these as eyeshadows. I don't think I reached for either of these one time as an eyeshadow. This one is in the shade Poolside and 7 Day Weekend. I know why I bought these, because they look beautiful. I'm trying to like grab this other one. They look beautiful. They do. But they've sat and sat and sat and collected dust. I need to pull these out and try and use these because I did spend the money on them. So I probably should try, at least put forth the effort to use them. But I shouldn't have bought these. Next up is a bronzer, and I normally wouldn't care because I just love bronzer so much. I love trying bronzer, but last summer I had collected, ooh, do I have a rat's tail hanging out here? Yikes. I had been purchasing quite a few bronzers, and the summer, like the end of summer Sephora VIB sale came up, the one that like they've just recently started doing, right around the time that this released. And this is the Lawless Beauty bronzer. Mine doesn't have like a sticker with the shade name on it, but I think there's 2 shades, and I purchased the lighter of the 2 shades. This is an expensive bronzer at $38, and I just don't love this. Like when I swatch it, right now my self-tan is a little bit out of control, so you probably can't even see the swatch. When I swatch it, it looks like it's gonna be really pretty, but I swear it just does not translate on the face. I feel like it just looks a little bit too warm toned, like we're starting to toe the line of possible like crushed up Doritos swirled on my face. It's just, it's not the cutest look. I don't know. I thought I was gonna love this bronzer, and I remember being like, no, you do not need another bronzer, and then like last second throwing this in my cart and buying it. I shouldn't have bought it. I should have waited for reviews. I should have just waited and used up bronzer that I have, but you know me, I just have to buy everything. Next up I have another like pretty inexpensive mistake, pretty inexpensive product. This is from Essence. This is one of their Metal Shock eyeshadows, and this is in a shade that I never am going to and never reach for, and it is in this like blue shade. Why did I buy this? I had purchased a different shade in the Metal Shock shadows, and I really like the formula, really like the other shade that I purchased. So naturally I thought if I purchased like a bright blue shade, I would start to be more creative, start to reach for shades like this, and I don't think I've used this one time on my eyes. Why? Next up I have a powder, and this is from Hourglass. This is the Ambient Lighting Powder in Luminous Light. I feel like with Hourglass products, it's super hit or miss. Like I either love the product or I'm like, yeah, no, not for me. And I had purchased a different powder in this line, like a different shade, and returned it because I did not like it. So naturally, I like returned it and exchanged it for a different shade because I thought if I had got a different shade, I would love it. And I just don't reach for products like this. I just don't use a finishing powder that often. Every time I use this, I feel like I am forcing myself to reach into this. It's just not, like, it's fine. And I could use it as a highlighter, but it's a very, very subtle highlight. And it was just a very expensive, like, you don't, like, it's just an extra item in my collection that I really don't need, but I kind of want to use up because I spent the money on it. So in the end, I just really shouldn't have purchased this in the first place. 2 eyeshadow palettes to talk about. The first is the Dominique Cosmetics Rustic Glam palette. You guys, the reason I purchased this, there are 2 reasons. One, the packaging just really got me. I forget what this is called, like the mandala something. Like, I don't know if you can tell from like my tattoo, but I do like things like this. I want to get this tattooed, like this, whatever this is, I forget what it's called. I like really want to get this in a tattoo too. So naturally I was drawn to the palette for that reason. I just felt like the Rustic Glam, it just gave me very, maybe it was like the promotional photos, if I'm recalling right. It gave me very like Coachella, like festival vibes. And then I went in store and I wasn't expecting this to be at my Sephora. I couldn't talk myself out of this if this would have been like an online situation, which is how it started out. But it happened to just be in my Sephora. So naturally I was doomed. And I got to swatch this shade, which is reason number 2 I purchased this palette for 1 shade. I believe this was like $42. I paid $42 for this green shimmery shade. Now granted, I do love this green shimmery shade, but other than that, I mean, the only other shades I really like in this palette are like these 3 browns, and even this shade Fringe isn't very pigmented at all. Like, not very impressed with that shade. So yeah, I should not have purchased this. And then the other eyeshadow palette I should not have purchased was this one from Nabla. This is the Poison Garden palette, and I purchased this like a week or so after I purchased the Secret palette because I was so impressed with the Secret palette. Naturally, I needed everything that Nabla has ever made, so I purchased the Poison Garden palette. This is what it looks like, and this is like, I don't mean to be mean, and if you love this palette, all the power to you. This is like one of the most uninspiring, boring color stories I feel like I've ever looked at, and I feel like it looks more inspiring on camera, and like if you cover up that pop of blue too, like it just, like I feel like it sucks my creative soul right out of me, and I find that the quality of these shadows just is not very good in general. Yikes. I just, like the shimmers even like are just blah, like it's just not a good palette, and I should not have purchased this. I did go on to purchase the Nabla, the Dreamy 2. I was a little bit skeptical after this whole debacle. I was like, it seems like Nabla's pretty hit or miss, and I love the Dreamy 2, but the Poison Garden, not my jam. All right, I have 2 lip products that I should not have purchased. This one is from YSL. And the reason I shouldn't have purchased this is because, if I'm not mistaken, this is a $37 lip product, which is just outrageous, insane, and stupid. This is a lip stain. I have mine in the shade 22, and it's actually a really pretty color. I'm excited to play around with this in the summertime, and I like this lip product, but $37 is a little bit ridiculous. Don't you think, YSL? Don't you think? $37 for just like a lip stain? Definitely shouldn't have purchased that. Like, I feel like I got robbed. Okay, next up is a Jeffree Star liquid lipstick, and this is in the shade Designer Blood, and this was from a holiday collection. So look at this, and the reason I shouldn't have purchased this is because I already had a Jeffree Star liquid lipstick in my collection, which was this one right here. Why did I purchase this? I'm an idiot. Okay, so let me swatch these. So first we'll swatch the one I already had in my collection, which is in the shade Unicorn Blood. And at the time I was like, or at least felt like I was a lot more into this type of shade. Now it's like I maybe will wear this shade once a year. So this was the shade I already had in my collection, and then I picked up Designer Blood, which I knew was already going to be similar to this. It's even more pathetic when I swatch them next to each other. There is Unicorn Blood. Like, can you really even tell a difference? No. Especially like on the lips. No. No. Why did I buy that? Stupid. Okay, and then the last 2 products I have to talk about are both from ABH. So we're gonna start with this one, and I actually love this product. Like, I really do like this product. This is the ABH Moonchild Glow Kit. This is, I have actually been reaching for this more often, I think because I've been thinking about it a little bit more. But when I purchased this, I already had the Aurora Glow Kit, and I was like, oh, like the Aurora Glow Kit is working for me. It's like that fun color, like funky sort of palette. And the Moonchild, when it released, I was very interested, but I was like, I'll never use that. So then after I purchased Aurora, I was like, well, I will use the Moonchild, because the Aurora was like kind of similar to the Moonchild. Yeah, I never reached for the Moonchild. And I think the reason being is Moonchild is definitely more colorful. Aurora looks more colorful, but there are some shades in there that work as like an everyday highlight. Whereas this, the only one I feel like I could probably get away with as an everyday highlight, and it's still like, not really, is this one in Pink Heart. Now, I have been reaching for this a ton for inner corner highlighting, and I love it for that, especially if I'm doing any sort of look with a color. If I'm doing a green look, I'll use Lucky Clover in the inner corner. If I'm doing pink, I'll use Pink Heart. Blue, I'll use Blue Ice. Purple, I'll use Purple Horseshoe or Blue Moon. This is great for inner corner highlighting, but look at the size of these pans for inner corner highlights. Yeah, I probably definitely didn't need to buy that. And then the last and final product is also from ABH, and I actually have 2 of them. These are glitters. If you guys know me, do you think I use glitters a lot? Never. Let me just explain. I'm such an idiot. So the two shades that I picked up were probably the two that interested me the most, but it's the shade names that I purchased them for. Seems like a great reason to buy a product you never use, right? So I got them in the shades Flower Child as well as Day 2, and these released, I think, like with the Norvina palettes, but it was, at least I'm hoping in my head, it was like some sort of festival-esque sort of promo or whatever. And you guys know I've been telling this story quite a bit lately because I've been talking about my BH Cosmetics Weekend Festival palette a lot. I used to be a festy gal, so these really ring true to who I used to be. I used to be like Plur, Flower Child, like festival, like fuzzy boots. Just kidding, I didn't actually wear fuzzy boots, but like Flower Child, that spoke to like my festival soul. And then Day 2, I've been to a festival or two before, and Day 2 is usually pretty rough, so that also just really spoke to the inner retired festival goer that I am. Great reason to buy these. Shouldn't have done it. All right, you guys, after that, that is going to conclude today's video talking about more products in my collection I never should have purchased. Leave me a comment down below. What products do you guys have in your collection that you, I don't know why I'm talking like this. Leave me a comment down below. Leave me your comments down below. Let me know what products you currently have in your collection that you shouldn't have purchased, maybe. I'd love to hear from you guys. Anyway, thanks so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.